the look, even if you look at what happened with COVID, let's just look at that. Like, how did they pass this off? Look at the media today. You know that they're giving COVID vaccines to 6-month-old children now. We know how bad it is. We know that it ruins stem cells in pregnant women. They don't give stem cells to their babies. The industry's upset because the placentas no longer have stem cells. They used to use those stem cells in research and cosmetics, etc. They're not getting them anymore because of what the COVID shots did to the placentas and those infants. That's not being talked about in the media. Nothing bad about the shots being talked about when we have Kevin McKernan and all these people looking at it going, there's SV40 in it. There was a staphylococcal endotoxin gene. There were 2 snake genes in there. It's a definite gain of function. Nope. We got to put it on the baby vaccine schedule, because any doubts whether or not well-funded about the vaccination must not be allowed to exist. That's why.
That sounds like a religion.
And it's been
It sounds like a cult. It sounds like a crazy cult that the whole world's been sucked into. Giving a COVID shot to a baby today is insane.
3 of them. They get 3 by the...
Little late to the party, Joe. Should have listened to Eddie Bravo freaking 6 years ago, 5 years ago. But better late than never, I guess, Joe. Anyway, for all of the best scientists out there, there's a good episode of Joe Rogan. Now we all, if you have been long time base scientist yourself, gathering that base knowledge in your brain, you already knew all about this, but it's a nice reminder. It's nice to see this real base science, not that fake ass science that most people are doing because of the money cream. But this real base science is good to see. And just getting out there in this big podcast. A little late to the party, huh? When everybody already took their jab a few years ago. Millions of people already and millions of people already did do the jab, and they're just waiting for that. Now you can. One guy asked me, what did you do? Because I have looked into this quite a bit. And if you took those ones, it would have been cool, Joe, to get this woman up on your podcast 5 years ago. But if you took those, you went into this, you lacked the base knowledge, you lack that intelligence in your brain. Which is super easy to do because they control you every which way. They are the masters of control. They are geniuses, what they're doing. But my melanin was strong back then. I remember back in those days when this was a hot topic. Many people were completely brainwashed about it. I lost multiple relationships, a couple big ones even. Because I said loud and clear from the day one that this shit is Circus Maximus. Bread and circuses to the masses, but this has real consequences if you follow along with it. It might have real big consequences for you, your family, your offspring if you can't have them anymore. I said that from the day one. It cost me some things in my life, but I was right. Because I knew how the system worked. I knew somewhat who built the system. I think it's very hard to say exactly who the guys are that built the system. But I know somewhat who built the system. I know how they did it. Although I still get new knowledge like that. Video a couple days ago, check that one out with Uncle Jack. It blew my mind. I'm into the point that I have already gathered all the knowledge, but I still have that curiosity. I'm still looking for more. And Uncle Jack, he put a couple more puzzle pieces together in my based knowledge puzzle. But anyways, like I said, good to see Joe getting onto this. But you should have listened your buddy Eddie Bravo 5 years ago, Joe. It could have saved quite a few lives. I'm laughing, although it's not. It's funny because it's so ridiculous and so dark. That's why I'm laughing. Because I almost cannot believe. Oh, I can. I can believe. I know the depths of human spirit, what it can do. The good and the bad. Oh, I know that. Anyway, what I said to that guy who asked me what I should do, this young guy, getting into raw meat a little bit and stuff. But the raw meat is not enough. You need to be at the sun as much as you can. You need to be grounded as much as you can. You need to be out in nature as much as you can. Then you maximize the food stuff. Only natural foods that come from your local environment. As little pesticides, herbicides, bullshit sides as possible. Then you sleep a lot, you relax, you chill, you don't stress yourself, and you pray for the best. That's the final key. Placebo max you way out of this, because you need all of the, you need everything, every last bit of hope. Every last bit of natural things you can do to combat this mistake you fall into. Anyway, see you later, alligator, and get off this freaking YouTube.